The Galactic Historian team is coming to you this October 26th through the 29th for a 4-day U.S. event set in the picturesque Willamette Valley, a place known for its healing potential, nestled in the heart of beautiful wine country.
Hello, I'm Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. Join me and our incredible team of spiritual guides for an unforgettable experience at the Living the Mystical Life Daily 3 Conference in the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat.
Hello, I'm Laura Massey of Two Feathers Medicine. This event is a unique opportunity to connect deeply with yourself and a like-minded community as we embark on a journey of sacred self-mastery and living our mystical lives daily.
Hello, I'm Dale Tobin from Symmetry of Health. At this event, you'll get the opportunity to sample our innovative combined healing therapy for yourself, including the rare Lucia light and all the new ambisonic therapy chamber, a 3D sound experience designed to guide you into a deep state of relaxation and rejuvenation.
Hello, I'm Amy Kruzik from Universal Citizen Media. We're excited to bring you in-person presentations, live demonstrations, and immersive group healing experiences that will elevate your spiritual practice.
Day 1 and 2 will feature the highly anticipated Living the Mystical Life Daily Number 3 Conference, discovering new teachings, guided meditations, and captivating presentations by myself and our incredible team.
And days 3 and 4 will take you on a mystical journey without use of drugs or hallucinogens at the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat. Immerse yourself in guided healing journeys and a multidimensional sound experience.
Together, we'll dive deep into healing and self-discovery, utilizing state-of-the-art technologies and ancient wisdom.
And with the Manifest package, early bird tickets are available until July 31st, 2024 for just $2,000. Secure your spot today and enjoy exclusive bonus offers and additional perks.
Don't miss this incredible opportunity for growth and healing.
And meet us in person in the beautiful Willamette Valley.
And elevate your spiritual practice with all new teachings from the Galactic Historian team.
Join us in Oregon on October 26th through the 29th, 2024. Reserve your spot today and embark on a journey of transformation, connection, and mystical exploration.
Announcement, we are open to have private sessions. I am opening new dates on my schedule. We have a brand new automated booking system. No more long waits for confirming the booking. That's right, everyone. Automated booking system is here. Go to andrewbartzis.com and look forward to seeing you in a private session. Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into reality. A handful of days since the attempted assassination on Donald Trump and the day the world took a shit on Planet X, on X/Twitter, and truth came out. Today will be a live call in show. If you want to talk about anything at all, it's not just about what's your galactic history, what you're reading, what's your subject matter. It can be any subject matter that you want to talk to me about. I want to let everybody know that the new mentorship sign up is alive right now. You can go to the website. You could also sign up for the live event. And for those of you who want to have a combined mentorship and the live event package, that is all in one for you. Click the live event or the QR code in the top left corner to find out all the details. So, for those of you who are looking for a community, a way to discover your inner practice, this October in the Willamette Valley in in Oregon, just south of Salem, we will be having our live event, and I look forward to all the different mentorship people to come and join. We will be having level 1, level 2, and all the ongoing mentorship people will be starting in second week in August. With that said, a whole bunch of shit has gone down. We had our 2 live shows on Saturday right after the assassination attempt, and then on Sunday, and we had a whole lot of feedback from a lot of people. With that, we're going to open up the calls. All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who the universe wants us to talk to.
All right, let's bring Fred in. You're on the air with Andrew Bartzis.
Fred, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How's it going, brother? Been a while since we talked.
Yes, it has been.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Hey, I've been reading your book, and I'm about 53 pages in, and I'm almost becoming almost a mini me.
Okay.
I thought it'd be a little humorous.
Yeah, it is.
It is very understanding what you had to take and go through and what we are really about and how things are going.
So what kind of subject matters in the book have challenged you to new heights of expansion?
Well, it's a little, I have to finish reading it because it makes the left side of my brain do funny things like pump more fluid, get the gears going, the conveyor belts moving. A little humorous, but it does tend to make things work a little bit differently.
Okay. So what did you want to talk about today?
Well, back when I was a teenager, back in about 63, 64, I was staying or living in the lower level of the home, and I'd be going, leave the lights off, I'd be going upstairs, and there'd be times where it seemed like I had a presence that tried to hold me on the stairway, kind of freeze me. I don't know what it was. And so I get a little upset about it, doing this about the same place. So I turned around and jumped back down the stairs, and I've never had a problem since then.
Mm-hmm. And you're wanting to know what it was?
Yeah, if it was possible.
How many years ago? 40 years ago?
Yeah, let's do it that way.
So 40 years ago, you're walking up the steps, something made you pause, you got afraid, you jumped downstairs, and ever since then you've been afraid.
No, I've never been afraid. In other words, it kind of froze me in place. Like I couldn't go up the next stairs. I really had to put some effort into taking the next step up. And this,
so you're saying there was zero fear whatsoever?
That's correct.
I don't believe you.
Well, there was a little fear of holding me in place. I'll agree.
No, I think afterwards too. It's why it stuck with you for over 40 years.
It's never bothered me since then.
One person's bothered is another psychic's deeper perception of trauma.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tomato sauce.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Big difference. 40 years later, it's not a tomato anymore. It's a tomato. It's a cooked tomato sauce with garlic, pepper, salt, a little bit of sugar, a little grilled onion in there. Okay? It had stuck with you, and for some reason, it's come up again because it was a mystical experience that you have no rationalization for, no energy for, other than it's something that happened to me. And the level of fear is not high in you, but it has left its indelible fingerprint of fear. If one were to be a investigator looking for clues, what I actually believe that the energy was at the top of the step was a portal of energy that would normally appear on that steps. But it was a time of the year where energy in that whole house was on a very higher up energy, and you just kind of stepped into a jet or stream of energy that solidified like gel around you.
Okay. The house was brand new, built in the 1957, 58.
That's fine. The energy of the house, even if the house was brand new, newer houses have more weird energy than older houses at times because the land still's not used for the house being on top of it.
Okay. I have one more question.
Okay.
I've got a probate case that I'm going to have to get upset with the probate judge.
Okay.
It's because this has been going on now for over 2 years. And it is the personal representative. Now, somebody's telling me 3 years. Yes, that's what I've been going with. And it has not been finalized. After all this, the individual has done everything possible to delay and obstruct what's going on.
You mean the person that's tendering the claim or the judge itself?
Yes, the personal representative of my dad's estate.
And why are they doing this?
Because they can. Probably the offset was there at the very beginning was to, she was we told her that we were redoing Dad's bedroom, which she moved into. She's got a place of her own in another city. And she just wanted to take and stay there and be fed. She got upset with us a few times when, what did you guys have to eat? Well, we went out to eat. No one called me. Well, no one knew that you were going to be here either. So I don't try to argue with them because all it does is inflame whatever they have going.
Okay.
So
what kind of business did your father have to have those funds that are worthwhile to go after?
Really not all that much. We did get a settlement of $35,000 between the 7 of us out of 8. One of those 7 has no standing because he owns the trust money.
Okay. So you're really talking about no more than $5,000 per person.
Well, no, I actually got $35,000. Out of the 7 of us did.
So each of you got $35,000.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I also took money out and bought my dad's house.
Okay. And where is this woman staying now?
At her place in another city.
And she's still challenging in the probate court?
No, I think no. The difference is since the second attorney is still a personal representative for her so that she can dictate whatever she wants, they have to do.
All right. So you're at a point where virtually nothing can be done unless you have your lawyers work up more paperwork that gets her removed as the trustee.
Well, yes, and that would be a PC 604, which I've already filed twice. I'm about ready to file another one, which is a removal of trustee, which she's never even though she has the title of trustee, she's never honored the trust
She never
at all.
performed it. And unfortunately, you're going to be dealing with a probate court judge that doesn't really care because the volume of money is insignificant.
That's true.
Okay? And you do realize that the court gets a small percentage of the settlement, right?
I assume so. Yes.
Yeah, every probate court, all of that works like that. It's called the death tax. Some of it goes to support the courts. That's the way American court systems work. And the longer it's in the court, the more money that goes to the court system itself.
Yeah, it figures. I wasn't really. All I wanted to do was just clear up the record, have it done and over with, and
courts don't work. Courts don't work that way. They don't serve people.
No,
they serve the system.
It's RICO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, do any of your other brothers or sisters want to deal with this, or they just put you in charge of dealing with it?
Well, they've got. I started with an attorney, and then I had to tell him his services are no longer needed. So he brought me back to court and sucked me for another couple of $2,000.
Uh-huh.
So
that's all that's going to happen when you file your next paperwork. You're just going to have more money sucked out of you.
Well, I'm going to have to probably pay court costs eventually. But yeah. But
you're going to have to pay the lawyers, all the price of the lawyers. What are you talking about? The price to write up the letter, the price to file, the post to have motion hearing number 1 and motion hearing number 2. Okay? There's $6,000 right there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I've already filed these on my own. The previous 604s. Mm-hmm. And my attorney told me, he says, I'm going to fire you. Well, you know what? I should have said, but the problem is that I had my other brothers sign in along with me on this. And so I had to turn it down because their attorney would have fired them too.
Because of you guys filing the 604?
Because I filed it with them. Right. I'm the initiator. So.
Why were they upset of you for filing it?
Oh, the attorneys were, yes, because they weren't told. Because they weren't told.
You've upset an apple cart. You realize that, right?
Oh, I know I did.
It was the wrong thing for you to do.
Yes.
So why are you doing it again? Why are you repeating it and doing it again?
Because the agreement.
No. I'm gonna be blunt with you. This is pure ego coming through.
Oh, okay.
This is ego coming through. If you would have had the lawyer filed it and dealt with the judge internally, it probably would have been settled.
Well, my brother had an attorney. It's on his second one. And his first one did the paperwork but never filed.
Sure, because he needed the next filing sets of fees, and you needed other people to sign on to what was going on and to have some affidavits done about why this person that was the trustee or the executor wasn't doing their work. There's other things that are attached to that you didn't see how it upsets the internals of the court. Long story short is you're going about it the wrong way. You need to have a lawyer file it, and you need to stick with that if you want to. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to burn money and butt up against a wall that doesn't care what you think or what you do.
Yes, I understand.
Okay? Even when you feel right, you're not right according to the eyes of the court.
It has to come from somebody else.
Correct.
Yes, I do understand. In other words, my word, and it's not what I know, it's what I can prove.
And more than just what you can prove, it's the administrative way that you attempt to prove it, which is more important than the evidence.
Okay. It gives me more to take and look at then.
How much more money is there to be had if you guys get this person removed as the administrator?
Probably not worth the effort.
Well, I would think about that.
Okay.
Okay, I would think about that. What would your father tell you to do with your life in this situation?
Dad was really pretty good about it. He would probably say, I should let it go.
Well, maybe you want to listen to some of that advice and do a little bit of inner soul searching and seeing what else could I be spending my life force on, time and effort on? What else could I be investing in instead of this?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I appreciate it, and I thank you for your effort.
All right, brother, take it easy. It's good talking to you again.
Good talking to you too.
Good luck with the book. Good luck with reading the book too.
No, you betcha.
All right, Joel. Let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okie dokie. We're gonna bring on Mate. Are you there?
Oh yeah.
Mate, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Where are you calling from?
I'm in California, San Jose right now.
All right. What do you want to talk about today?
Somehow I knew I was gonna get on.
Man, you must be
Basically,
psychic.
I would like to. Yeah, there was no ego in it when I felt it. I was like, that's probably true then.
Yeah, that's
I'd like to have
intuition.
yes, which is well, I can just ramble on things, so let's not do that. What I would like to do is have two questions for you, and I'd like to do like a big picture question and like an immediate situation kind of thing. If we
Okay.
could start with the big picture, that would be awesome.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to make a small statement. If you could
Okay.
kind of tell me how correct am I on it, then I can ask my questions following that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, kind of the journey started with my mom giving me the book, The Indigo Children. I really was skeptic about it, but I read it and I felt really connected. And down the road, reading The Law of One, I kind of connected the dots, thinking that maybe that's what the book is talking about, that these indigo children are these reincarnated sixth density beings coming in like the mid 80s, early 90s. Is this kind of correct so far?
No.
Okay, could you tell me
No.
what's up with this?
Well, first of all, unfortunately, that book and The Law of One, it only gives you a narrow perception of the infinite amount of types of souls that are coming in. Now, unfortunately, even
I
The
figured
Law of
that, yeah.
One has a philosophical, political, philosophy perception in its projection to this world.
Mhm.
Even though it's attached to a group of light beings who say XXXXXX, there still is a philosophical and political perception of their version of truth behind it.
Okay.
There are many other
There's a lot
expressions
of
of
distortion.
light. Right. There are many other expressions of light who would not fall under the idea of an indigo child.
Yes, that seems obvious to me too.
But the variety of human in a cycle of being born here over the span of 1,000,000 years of invested time, effort, and energy as a living being in physical time here, indigo children does make sense.
Okay.
But it is not the all dominant perception. It would be no more than 2 to 3% of the incarnating beings here.
Ooh, really small.
And
Okay.
even the highest level of form of life here isn't going to be higher than 6 or 7%. That's how diverse life is here.
Wow.
Astral surface and subsurface.
What about if you termed it in sixth density reincarnation? What would the percentage be?
All right, so when you use the term sixth density and reincarnation, that's its own oxymoron.
Okay. Why is that?
Sixth density beings aren't in reincarnation, they're generally in incarnation, and they're here to rescue
Right.
people
Right.
or
Okay.
to supersede other forms of life here to act as rescuers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then basically, obviously, I'm just trying to figure out something
Yeah,
about
you want the
myself.
big picture. You want the big picture, and I got a great way to help you with it.
Yeah, this is helping a lot.
Yeah.
Where do I belong in the big picture then?
You're a rescuer who also has a seeding energy, meaning there are a lot of people who came here as higher density beings to rescue large groups of people caught in the resolution of karma,
Sure.
and they have forgotten their grander purpose. And your purpose is to come back and find the rescuers who got lost, the first responders, and then along the way, you're still going to rescue people who are not first responders.
Right.
What does
Makes sense.
rescue mean? It means helping them find back to the way of love, the law of one, the law of two, the law of celestial presence. Okay, it's
Okay.
finding
Yeah.
back to source, and in the
Yes.
infinite amount of ways you can rediscover source. Okay,
Yes.
you and source are good buddies. Okay,
I feel extremely intuitive, like you mentioned earlier. Definitely is a big part of my life.
and
Um,
faith is going to be
yes.
one of those things for you, where if you choose to incorporate faith as a grander concept, you might be able to form your own version of a healing technique that could help the journey of finding the source disconnected first responders and rescuers.
I'm not fully understanding what you just said. Basically, it would help me to find
Become a
connection with
teacher.
those people. Oh,
Become a
okay.
teacher.
Right.
I'll
I
nail it
get you.
down to you. Become a teacher.
Thank you.
Okay?
Right.
And go
Okay.
through the journey of the ego going, I am a teacher. I must be responsible to myself, the greater good, and then also how I choose this life so I don't lose myself to the greater good.
Yeah. Could you tell me how many lives I had on this planet?
You've been here for about 41 million years. You
Very
figure
long
out how
time.
many lives you could have in 41 million years.
Yeah, that's plenty of information. Thank you.
Try about 400 million lives.
Yeah, a lot.
A
I
lot.
had a I had a hypnosis past life regression, and I went through a couple of lives and just didn't give me a perspective like that. Anyways, that's kind of nice for the big picture, I think. I really appreciate that. I've
You're
been
welcome.
wanting to know that for a long time. I think I started listening to you walking in energy the very first time you started getting famous.
Uh huh.
Yeah, and well, your prices went up really quickly after that.
So, what
But
kind
yeah, I
of
really
job do you
appreciate
do?
everything you do. I do sales right now since I moved out here to California. I used to do construction, flooring, and now I sell flooring for a big company.
How long you been doing that for?
Uh, Coming up 5 years.
Is it fair to say that the amount of life force and effort you put into sales, you are getting paid enough to be at the job?
It did. Now, not some. Well, honestly, I'm not putting that much energy into it, and I do make a living. But that just comes back to my more immediate problems, if we're getting
Right.
into that.
Do
Um,
you have a living wage or do you have barely a living wage?
well, with my situation right now, it was fine. Basically, I was having above living wage basically for a while with my bonuses and everything. That was in 2021, right when COVID hit. That was my best year.
Uh,
And then next year was pretty decent too. And then things were kind of dying down, and I moved out of that place. So my bills went way down. So even though my pay went down, my bills went down too with it. But this
okay.
place that I'm living at is definitely coming to an end. I don't
And
know
where are
how
you
much
going
you
to
can
go?
see. Well, that's the big question. Um, Most recently, I was fairly committed to going back to Florida, where my mom lives. At the same time, I'm not a big fan of living there.
What part of Florida?
This is Northwest, Panama City,
Panama
up on the
City.
Panhandle. Yeah, I don't like the energies there. The Bay Area is very corrupt. I never liked that place too much. At the
Yeah, but
same time,
it's not as corrupt as California.
okay, you got a point there. It's super
Okay.
bad. Yeah, it's super bad.
Okay. You have to admit, not as corrupt as where you are right now.
No, well,
My initial
feel
advice
like
is
you
to
pay a
go
price.
back. My initial advice is to go back, but maybe it's time for you to think about what type of career advancement you want to do after you hit the ground, find a job, get some money, so you don't have to stay living at your mom's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't want. That's just temporary. Just basically, they need the help, honestly, in one sense too. My
Sure,
stepdad
but don't also
has
get
been.
trapped. You can still live in your
No,
own place and give them
of
money.
course.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the idea was 3 to 6 months, and then I find my own place.
Okay. So, as I said, my initial advice is to go back. I have a second piece of advice, though. If you're
Yeah,
going to stay in California, the hardships are going to get more challenging and more challenging and more challenging and more challenging and
that's
more
what I needed to
challenging
know.
and more challenging for you until some type of forced evolution happens to you there.
Why is that? Can you tell me more about this? Why that is?
Because it's the karma of the state,
Oh,
the corruption of the state, the laws being passed, the
it is insane
unfriendly
out
to
here. I know.
business. Okay,
Okay. No,
the
that
California
makes
dream
sense.
is no longer a dream; it's the California nightmare.
Okay, can you tell me something about my girlfriend? That's where my problems are.
What's her name and date of birth?
Uh, Nguyen Hao Nguyen, Vietnamese. Date of birth is May 19, 1981.
How long have you known her for?
4 years.
She's got a lot of unrecognized talents and an issue with personal confidence and some of those hidden talents
Oh yeah.
inside her.
Oh, you're hitting the nail. That's the right
Very
person.
powerful, artistic, creative personality that
Yeah.
is very limited by the traumas of being
Can you tell me
who
about her
she
traumas?
is, who she is and where she was from. It isn't racism. It's just a perception of was instilled into her through the family.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I see it.
Challenging emotional skills.
Yes.
Um, she may be open sexually, but in fact, she's a repressed sexual personality. And if she were to actually sit back and actually have longer versions of sensual talk with you and work out what are some of the issues, she would be able to have a real orgasmic format, which would make your relationship
Right.
even that more intense. Even though sex may be good now, there's a whole new level that you guys could have, especially if she were to discover her artistic side and really embrace it.
Well, she's bipolar, and she's not willing to make an effort to think clearly. So it's a chaos in her head
It's because
constantly.
it's an enforced perception in her.
Well, what does she
So,
need
and
to do to
until she's ready to sit down and do a daily practice that learns to
right?
counter the bipolar energies, learns to counter the negative mind patterns that go on inside her, learns to love herself instead of hate
She's
herself,
on a loop.
because it's a
She's on a
love
loop
and
in her head.
it's an internal love. I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you going on.
Right, right, constantly. Yeah, so basically, I feel like I need to cut ties with her and move back.
I wouldn't cut ties. I would indicate I have to go back.
Hmm.
I got no choice financially. I will be in ruin if I don't. And just leave it as open. Don't crush her.
Okay,
Don't I
that
gotta go.
that's
Bye bye,
reasonable.
bitch. Okay.
No, okay, no,
Okay.
that's reasonable. I mean, I always feel right if things are left right.
Right. Leave it as
That's
a
always been my
positive
motto.
and graceful positive and as graceful as you can.
Correct. Yeah, that's always been my
Okay.
motto.
Now, what are you gonna do
Okay.
if she says, "Can I go with you"? You haven't thought
Well,
about
I
that, did
know,
you?
I know. No, I got the answer. The answer is pills. What do you tell me about that?
Yeah. What are you gonna do about bills?
No, pills. Can I? Are you? Should I not get her on lithium? because that's my
Is
goal
she
right
not
now.
on any pills, right? Is she not on any meds?
No, and that's why she's out of control. She's in jail for the second time in a month.
Wait, you said she's second time in a month. What?
In jail.
What for? What?
Well, now the roommate said that she assaulted him, which isn't fully true.
So what is the truth?
Well, I was there the whole time. There was a tug between each other, just pulling like on a big, these keychains that you can put on your neck. So she
Yep.
was holding on to one side, he was holding on to the other side, and the key kind of cut into his hand. That was it. And then later on, she was smashing around with the hammer on the door handle, and he claimed that she hit him with the hammer, but that never happened.
Okay. So she fucking lost her mind.
Yeah, basically.
Right. At this point, it's just leave her in jail and go.
Yeah. Well, I felt like I should do the bare
I'm simply
minimum.
still telling you. You just say I have an emergency. I've got to go back to visit my parents. Somebody is ill there, but you still got to leave gracefully, or she's going to blow up on you. That's the whole point.
No, I just wanted to do the bare minimum because her court date is like August 12th. She can't even get out. Her bail is like
Yes, you could be
$75,000.
long
And
gone by then. You just tell her, "Hey, I
well,
have
that
a
was one
family
thing.
emergency at home."
But man, on the other side, I live here right here with her mom right now. She's devastated. She literally like hugged me the other day, telling me that she wants to die because of all the situation, and I'm
Yeah, but
supposed to just
that's
kind of get it.
emotional trapping on a narcissistic person to say I want to die and dump that on you. That's
Yeah,
just to
okay,
keep you
that's
under
true.
manipulation and paying the bills.
No, nobody's paying the bills. It's more complicated.
Okay.
A friend of hers bought the house. He's responsible, so he's entrapped in the whole situation as well because now he's responsible for all this money, and she's going chaotic. That's why all the roommates had to move out because of her. Now the whole house is empty. It's just the two of us, and he's trying
Good.
to sell the house
And
to
that's
get
the
out of it
best
too.
option for you to take the advice. I gotta go. Universe is
Yeah,
telling me to get out. Okay.
honestly, yes. Energy's been supporting that decision ever since I made
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You just gotta leave gracefully, even if it is a lie. Okay.
What I wanted is like do the bare minimum, and if I had to say something or do something to prove that she didn't actually assault him, so she doesn't go to jail for 10 years, I would do that before leaving. But
Then
if
you're going to be stuck coming back to court for months and months and months in a row,
right, right,
which will
okay,
then trap you in the state's karma once more.
okay,
You are
I
not
got you. You're right.
responsible for her psychotic outbreaks.
You're right. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. What's the right thing here? Because it's just too much for me to see it clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, energy's been definitely supporting the decision to go back home. I've noticed that. We were watching it with my mom.
Okay. Time to go.
So I do agree. I'm just waiting on my car to sell.
What kind of
I'll get my
car?
ticket and I go. It's a 2008 Toyota RAV4. I figured that would sell in a week in San Jose. Everybody wants a Toyota here. Everybody's Asian.
So it hasn't sold.
No, I have no serious inquiries. I posted it in 3 places: Craigslist, OfferUp, and Facebook.
How much are you asking for it?
6,900. I mean, I thought it was reasonable. It says 250 on the odometer, but I just put in a new engine under 60,000. I put it in the notes. I think it's a good deal. Yeah, you got to fix the windshield. I got a crack on it. I'm not gonna do it, but insurance will do it. And there's a small hole in the muffler for sound, but I mean, makes a little sound, but it was bumped by the oil change guy, but
Well,
it works
don't be
fine.
surprised if you go another week with no real offers.
Why?
Money is very challenging in that area.
So I should just lower it and go.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Lower it to
figured
like
I'll do.
56, 55.
Yeah, just make it quick and get the
Yep.
hell out.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if you can help me with this. Am I gonna get screwed on my crypto? Can you predict that? I'm so
Which
nervous.
which crypto are you in?
It's super small. It's called TRIAS, Trias. Basically, they're notifying me that it's getting put on a list where they're watching it, whether or not they're gonna take it off this market.
Yeah, you're
And
gonna
if
get
they
rug.
take it off, I'm
You're gonna
screwed.
get rug.
Right.
You're gonna get rug. You're gonna get rug pulled. Get out of it as soon as possible.
Uh, yeah, that's another
That'll
problem.
teach you for getting involved. It'll teach you for getting involved into small cryptos. Only invest in the big guys that have securities, have been securitized. Even all the big
Yep.
guys, FTX went down. All the other guys are big down. Binance got fucking $5.9 billion fines against them for running a.
Wasn't FTX is all like manipulated though
Yes, all of it's
from the very
manipulated.
beginning? Right. Okay, I
If
figured.
you're gonna get into Bitcoin, get into Bitcoin. Don't get into all these other small things where they can rug pull you all the time.
Yeah, yeah, they're controlling it too much.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get into real estate when I get back to Florida. I have a friend that used to, build these homes, and I was doing the floors for him. And he's so helpful, man. He got me started in my LLC at the time for my flooring, and he would help me with this, I'm pretty sure. And I was just
Uh-huh.
trying to pull enough money out of the crypto to get started there and get financially right, and then really think about what you're saying. Somehow find wherever
Here's
it
a
is
su-
or
here,
whatever
here's
way
a
it
sug-
is I can kind of teach or do something that's meaningful to me.
here's a suggestion for you. There are a
Yeah,
lot of independent um, people that appraise home
I lost you there.
to as a secondary career while you're trying to figure out, does school mean something real for you, or is it the next journey of entrepreneurship and self-education?
I missed the first part of it. You were cutting out a little bit, but I think I
Oh,
got
so
it.
I said to go and do building inspections. Get to be an independent building
Oh,
inspector.
I see.
Okay,
I wanted to keep on going with sales somehow.
you
I
can,
don't.
you can. It's just the challenge of being in that area. The amount
Yeah.
of real estate sales you're going to be going against are going to be, the competition's
No,
just through the
not
roof.
real estate sales. Normal sales job, whatever it is. At first, I was gonna do just car sales or something, and then find maybe
Yeah,
like
but you're
do
still
like
going
pools or
to
something.
discover the competition is through the roof.
Okay.
It may serve you short term, and in that
Mm-hmm.
short term, you're going to have to go, well, my own entrepreneur, and I've got to begin saving up and use my sales ability to put together an investment package for a bigger idea. Build something for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Gives me some ideas.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, and you're doing great work. I really appreciate it ever since I've
All right,
heard you.
all right, man. Take it easy. Good talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right, let's bring on Amir.
Amir, are you there?
Oh,
Hello?
going once.
Yo, yo, yo,
No.
yo, 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 yo.
Hey, you made it. How's it going, brother?
Ah, brother Andy B. Thanks for hosting and being the boss.
So how long you been listening to me for?
I joined the Bartzis March to Victory about in this life about 2013.
Okay, you've been around a long time. What do you
Yeah.
want to talk about today?
Oh, well, the burning question that's always on my mind when I listen to your show is, how is Andrew Bartzis?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I have a second business that I started in the UK with Laura and Dale.
Mm.
I got combined healing therapy up. When I moved it out of Barbados after COVID came through. I'm doing good. Okay, I'm doing really good actually. I'm
Yeah.
at
Well,
a point where in my career, it's the next evolution's coming for me. That's why I took a year and a half off from reading shows. I was just
mm,
burned out of doing it.
yeah.
Now I'm back doing it. It's a part of the ongoing smaller businesses and getting other people set up to run their businesses and pass on what I know to them, to the next
Mm,
generation of people who want to make a life and a career out of it.
yes. Very helpful. And imagine it nurtures your spirit too. That's so that you feel like that's your evolution, is to continue on this assisting.
Yeah,
Is there
and
any
then
like
right, eventually, the show itself will evolve like it did, when I'm like, all right, I got to take time off, and then I worked with Dale and Laura and Maddie,
yeah.
to the point where, all right, I've been able to expand and do something different, even though after 10 plus years of doing that, it's all relatively the same. And
Mm,
Laura and Dale and I have laugh all the time. Don't give me light workers show ideas. Okay.
mm,
When you've
yeah.
done shows for 10 years, you feel like you've done everything before.
Yeah, of course.
They're like, do more Galactic history stuff. I've done 180 hours of it. How many
Mm,
more hours do you want?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about personal expansion of my creativity with the material, and then
Mm,
the new flock and generation of people that come and go. A lot of them listen to the old shows, learn a lot, but they have a lot of the repeat question, which is fine.
yeah.
Everyone's going to ask a question a different way, and the way I've been, is I've always been able to use my capacity to answer to the person's ability to understand.
Mm. It is a masterful skill you've honed. Very great
So
work.
what about you?
I am evolving. I've had a bit of an up trend, which is nice lately,
Uh-huh.
and I'm kind of leaning into engaging with my future self and trying to merge our frequencies so that I can in this now be more of what I'm wanting rather than what my subconscious programming is. I'm trying to override my subconscious programming, basically.
Okay. What
Yeah.
kind of job do you do now?
Right now, I am part-time while finishing my PhD. I'm just doing some UC. It's like a mentoring teachers, mentoring placement teachers on their
Okay.
school placements
What are you getting your PhD in?
in psychological education.
And what will you do with it when you're graduated?
I am hoping to assist individuals, communities, and organizations to refocus their ideals around
Uh-huh.
education as a form of enhancing well-being for everybody.
Okay. Have you been working on your thesis?
Yeah, constantly.
How far to being done are you?
My submission date is August 6th, so I'm just doing the final edit really at the moment.
And how do you feel about your current state of the document?
I'm struggling to hone the narrative in the way that I want it to be presented to the world, but I have to remember that it's not for everyone right now. It's just for a couple of examiners, and then I can
Right, right.
read it after that.
So let me help you.
Please help me.
This document you have has become alive, and it jumped
Yeah.
out to me right away to ask you
Cool.
about career path.
Yeah,
Okay?
great.
Finish writing it for the examiners.
Yes.
And then
Okay.
when you're done, take 2 or 3 months off and you don't touch the fucking thing. Okay? Walk
Yep.
away from it until
All
you
right.
can forget about the next words that are coming.
Okay.
Okay? And go live life, go have fun, drink some beers, go be a human being. And when you come back to it, edit it for a book.
Yeah.
Edit it for the next generation of parent educators, political educators,
Yeah.
and start to try to do a book tour and get yourself on local television if you can.
All right.
Your book has the potential of giving you interviews on news stations around the world,
Mm,
which is a career path
that
Yeah.
can lead to a lot of things that the subject individual lines in the book will reach out to people, and then you're going to take aspects of the book and break it. This book is a divine inspiration from your higher soul. It is.
Yeah. Thank you.
And if you treat it like that, and by balancing living human and figuring out life itself, and finding some way to let love in and let others love you even more, because that seems to
Mm.
be a bit of a challenge on right now, is the amount of love that you let in versus the love that you give others.
Yeah.
You will really have a chance to expand quite fast.
Mm.
And you got to see that book as the divine gift that will keep on giving back to you if you can keep the creative inspiration of the new thoughts and concepts of how education can be, and
Mm.
give examples of what a modern school should look like, with all
Yeah.
the issues removed from it from the existing school systems.
Yes, that's the next
Okay.
phase. This stuff. Yeah, I don't touch the education system in this book because I'm trying to engage with
Right.
adult listeners. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But once you're done with school and got your papers been reviewed and all that, you can tackle those things, which are going to be the subject matters that get you to educators' conferences
Mm.
and put you as keynote speakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun futures. Where
Well,
do
it's
you
simply
feel?
waiting for you to finish what you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. True. Can I ask you what your conception of future education looks like?
Sure. Um, the first school, instead of, like, here in the States, we call it kindergarten and first grade.
Yeah.
To me, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade should be all about hand-eye coordination, motor skills, socialization, coloring, singing, drawing, and dealing with any internal issues that the child may have reflected back to the parent. That's the first 3 years of education. It shouldn't be learning ABCs, one, two, threes, and rote repetition.
Absolutely.
So,
Not. Yeah. At least
right.
until it's 8 years old. Yeah.
It's so important to have spatial awareness,
Yeah.
athletics, and a form of athleticism that can be ingrained to the rest of their life. Now, let's
Dance.
say grade 4, 5, and 6, really they're starting to form their core personality. And here is where singing, acting, dancing with a rote practice schedule is far more important. They still have to learn the ABCs and one, two, threes, but they'll learn it through dance, song, um, acting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's using the creative, athletic mind skills versus rote repetition. Come up on the board and write.
Mm.
Okay, grade 4 and 5 would be to get them to read equivalent to what would be ninth grade reading. So getting them into the young adult reading category and reading the existing books that are in the libraries that are science fiction, fantasy, love and romance, things that don't have X-rated shit in them, like what comes out now.
Yeah.
Um, Encourage comic book creation so that
Mm. Yeah.
there's an artist and a writer working together as a teamwork. Now, grade 6, 7, and 8, here is where you make a turn from the artistic side and the skills based orientation of hand eye coordination, etc. And you give a specialization into reading, writing, arithmetic, physical sciences. But here's where the teachers have to change. And the rote curriculum that is today isn't explorative enough. Children's class sizes should be reduced to about 12 to 15 at most.
increase the price of the value of the educators, and then the middle management educators have to be re-educated on a regular basis, and there needs to be a intense oversight over middle managers who make teachers' lives hell. Okay. And then upper management that gets elected through school boards. Every school board should have a way for a person to be recalled and removed immediately, written into the bylaws of the school board, so no one can serve forever without any ever being held accountable. All budgets must be transparent from the beginning to the middle to the end, and anyone trying to hide a budget should be going to jail.
Yes.
The next thing is police officers should be part of the education system, meaning by grade 5, like an actual police officer takes a teaching education and teaches people the law. Okay? And this is how police agencies can have community connections in education, because it'll be the police officers' unions who will support bake sales, this, that, and that stuff. And it's a way for parents to meet local police officers. And it's local policing who walk the beat, who know everybody's name. That makes a huge difference in how policing is done. Then by reaching high school, they should be taking a choice of, do you want to go down a technical aspect? Like, let's say you want to go and do mechanical engineering, you'll be focused into that. Maybe you want to go into the nursing industry, you'll go to this direction, so that there's a heavy push to fill in the technical needs of the society. And those that want to go on a higher level college graduation have a separation from skill sets, that any student can get to the higher education or choose the lower education based off of their personal choice. Now, in ninth to 12th grade, it's very vital that socialization, bullying be dealt with. Because you have police officers within 5th and 6th grade, you will have a reduction of it, but you're still going to have social economic issues from the various cities and communities that come together. And here is where multiple schools have to come together and teach crisis management, conflict de-escalation. Things like that need to be a major part of that educating journey. And you can still learn reading, writing, arithmetic, trigonometry, and all those stuff will have a much better success rate, because early on, the socialization issues have been taken care of. You need to have football. You need to have basketball. And in fact, you should probably double, add a lot more sports, and have interschool connectivity, meaning the state or the schools or the levies support 5 or 6 schools becoming a small league, and having regular field trips to other schools where they're in competition. Okay. And then leading into 11th grade, have an option for students to leave school and go right to a community college and finish their high school as a community college or college level, because they've reached the higher cognitive levels where they don't need to be in high school. They need to be in higher education. So that's my definition of school, but that also continues on to higher education, community colleges, and colleges. They absolutely need to get the politics out of school, and they need to have a fixed price rate where they can no longer rip people off the way that they're doing and give them garbage degrees that have absolutely no value in the modern society. Here's a big example. People go and get a marketing degree, and they graduate of 4 years with a marketing, and they go to a marketing place, and no one wants to hire them because they know none of the modern marketing techniques. All the books are 10 years old.
Yeah, I think school as a system,
college book writers needs to be broken up. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where I would start with college and universities. How does that sound to you?
That sounds like a pretty good roadmap. Good work.
Okay. You can use it. Go right ahead and use it. Okay.
I will definitely. I'll quote you.
Okay. But early on, it's so important that they learn spatial awareness, physical skills, and the joy of connectivity with people around them while learning. So many people have traumas in learning that affect the rest of their life today. Like
Yeah.
when you ask a person to read a revocation, it's like they're being told to go and read in front of the class, and their personality turns into the dim-witted idiot that they can't read.
Mm. Yeah. It took me a while to work up the courage to do the revocations.
Someone.
Yeah.
Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of modern education has humiliation built into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's passed on from our previous generations.
Yeah. Exactly.
Teach through humiliation.
Yeah.
So what's your view of how people should be educated?
It needs to be child-led. In terms of school, I think child-led with expression, and the teacher needs to be an extreme. They need to understand themselves. Teacher education needs to be completely revamped to enhance the skills of the teacher to the point that they can become a child again. They have to be able to play. They have to be able to engage at and below the level of the child, so that the child feels like the teacher all the time, because really they are. You learn so much more from children. There's no point even considering that you're smarter. So having the teacher become the student is probably where I'd start. And
Which is
that.
why I have 1st to 5th grade being that.
Yeah, exactly.
The real adult they meet by then is the police officer who has an education background, because you have to teach the children not to be afraid of the police. And the police have to be invested into the children, the growing generation of children.
Yeah. When you were saying that, I was thinking that you probably want to do that with many, many professions, so that there's no stigmas around that.
Sure, but that's what where 7th and 8th grade is. It's say your 6th grade is where they actually have every 5 days a week a police officer with an educating background teaching them about the laws and civics and what community policing is. Okay.
Yeah, civics is very important.
Yeah.
Underrated. It'd be fun if there was a subject where you could just watch South Park and break it apart at some point as well.
Yeah, South Park's got some great ideas for fixing society.
Disturbing ones too. I'm not advocating for everything, but I've learned so much from their satirical view on reality.
All right, brother. It's been great talking to you. I got to move on to the next caller.
Really appreciate all your work. Love you, Andrew.
All right, man. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Thank you too.
All right, Joe, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okie dokie. Let's bring on Ozinja.
Ozinja, are you there? Hello.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from Canada, Alberta. I just want to say, Andrew Isnies. I'm just saying that thank you in my language. I'm calling from, Canada. I just want to ask, would it be possible to get any update on, are you going to do the Lionsgate thing again this year, or?
Oh, yeah. What was Lionsgate like for you last year?
Oh, well, it was weird just, hearing stuff. And then you said as the years gone by, if you didn't resolve stuff, it's going to get tougher, right? So, yeah, I just kind of enjoyed it. And I was just wondering when you're going to do that again. Just, general question.
So we have a plan. What day is, Joel, what day is the 8th? Is that the day of a show or is it afterwards? The 8th is a Thursday. Yes. So I will have a show that day. It will feature what is coming. I'll give you a little hint. This particular Lionsgate is going to be much more aggressive than last year's. And if you thought last year's was an ass kicker, this year will be 20 rounds with Mike Tyson.
Wow. Yeah.
And you're Logan Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's gonna be a roller coaster ride.
No, it's going to be a boxing match in
Oh,
which
okay.
you have lots of cheating, where you have lots of
Ah.
low blows, lots of clinching and low blows.
Lots of cheating, huh?
Yep.
And just one more. You know, I just wanted to ask, in your experience or knowledge, because since I come from a native reserve and whatnot, right? There's
Yep.
like, what's your view on actual medicine? Like, does it work? Because
Yes, it does work. It does work, but it also requires you to put investment back in to the greater term of what medicine is and how it nourishes the soul, which can cure the body. And a reconnectivity of faith is a reconnectivity to the origins of why shamans started practicing medicine from the beginning. That's
Mm-hmm.
why daily practice and prayer are such a vital part of anyone's journey to growth. It is that daily practice and prayer that can give us the courage and commitment to help confront some issues that we must solve on our own. And then there are times where medicine gets us into the state of being where we're healed enough to deal with some of the harder challenges of life. Okay.
Okay.
Life is an ongoing cycle of healing. And then there comes a point where you take break from healing and you come back to it and realize you've lost nothing and got a whole new point of view.
Okay. Yeah, because where I'm from, it's like just thrown around like that, right? It's like everybody's saying, well, when something goes wrong, somebody automatically say, "Oh, he's using medicine on me," and I kind of get what you're saying. It has to be a daily practice, right? But some of these
Yeah.
people who claim to be shamans are like just weekend warriors, right? During the week, some of them even drink, party, and then when it's time to get all holy, they step up. Oh, I'm holy. I have medicine. It's like, yeah, I don't know if your medicine actually works. So that's why I
Yeah,
was
but
asking you.
that's your doubt.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, there are many medicine people that were taught you drink and do this. And when it's
yeah.
time to be serious energy turns on.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
will only know that by being with that person and knowing some of their inner motivations beyond just being the shaman. That's why having a daily practice where you're connected to a community where the community knows if he's just a drunk or not.
Okay. Yeah, because some of these guys, like I said, they don't do daily practice like what you were saying. Like it takes a daily practice to ongoing practice to, make things manifest, right?
Sure, but there also comes a time when you've done it enough, the daily practice doesn't look like a daily practice. My
Okay. All
daily
right.
practice is dealing with all of you guys and the sessions that I do and the work that I do. And I do it
Okay.
40 to 50 hours a week. Okay. Do I still have personal ceremony time and personal work time? Yes, I do. Okay. But
Okay. All right.
it has evolved because the nature of the job and the mission that I chose to do as a life path.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Some
Just
people have earned that next level and we judge them because why am I not at that level yet?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just know because sometimes, like I said, it's just weird when there's an ongoing one where like my friend saying, yeah, that my girlfriend used medicine on me to tie me up and to get her to stay with her, right? And I'm like,
See,
oh,
that's
okay.
more of dark magic. That's not medicine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I
That's
was gonna do.
witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Oh, yeah.
Manipulation is witchcraft. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because he was saying that, and I go, I don't think that would be medicine, because I don't think it's used for that kind of intent, but I
No,
could
it
be
isn't.
wrong. I
It
said,
isn't used for that intent. That's witchcraft.
okay,
And
okay,
unfortunately, in a lot of the native tribes, witchcraft is taught as shamanism
okay,
because that's all that survived as the culture, or that's all that emerged from the culture because so few people were left to the practice. And those were the people that passed it on.
okay.
But
Oh,
the indigenous tribes throughout all the cultures have to have their come to great spirit moment.
okay,
Okay?
yeah,
And it only comes with communities coming together, sharing thoughts, feelings, and ideas, okay, and understanding that the traditions do need to be passed on.
okay,
Okay. And there are plenty of people left in the society to pass on the traditions. The younger crowd needs to take it serious and invest in the time with those that have it left before they're too old to teach.
okay. Uh, I remember this show you did a while back with the Rangers. They were talking about shapeshifters, and I typed in. I was the one that said that my great grandfather's was a shapeshifter. Well, that's what the culture
Uh,
said he was. He would
uh,
shapeshift into a wolf, right?
uh-huh.
And you know,
Many of the indigenous tribes, shapeshifting was a regular ability for them when they became of age.
yeah, yeah. There was because like non-natives had like contact with them, right? There's a train trail
Right.
or there's a railroad that's laid across our reserve, right? When it was
Yep.
being first built, white people said, there was like a wolf that was bothering them or wolf that was, being nuisance to them, right? And
Right.
lo and behold, that was him trying to, get those people to leave, don't make the train tracks are here, right? So, there was accounts that these white people saying, yeah, we're being, bugged by this wolf here that, making our life a little bit miserable trying to make these tracks, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I just want to know if stuff like that still survives to this day.
It does. Many of the this is going to be a broad statement, but not intentionally to be broad, but many of the remaining higher level medicine holders know these techniques, but who has gone through life lessons, learned the powerful lessons of love and forgiveness of the self, the family, the tribe, and the nation to take on the responsibility of learning these techniques.
Okay,
Because that which was passed on to them, they earned it. And they
okay,
know what it means to not go down the dark path.
okay,
Part of that learning is you still have to know what the dark energies are. You still have to learn it so you can counter them. Those shamans of the old days were trained in all the forms of arts, dark and light. Why? Because how will you know how to defeat the dark if you don't know the techniques that they use? And then what's going to make sure that you don't turn dark simply out of ego?
okay,
It's because you've earned your stripes. You've earned your favor with Great Mystery, and Great Mystery has blessed your life with a more powerful connective faith.
okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yeah. And it's just I've always wondered about that, and I just thought I'd ask you because you probably have more
Yeah,
knowledge than I did. And yeah, I just want to thank you. Oh, and your book is really great. I every time I read it, there's something new I always pick up. So excellent job on
cool.
that one. Yep. Yeah.
Here's a little thing for you to take back. All the cultures need storytellers. All you got to do is learn the stories and learn how to retell them in such a way that more can hear these stories and learn the wisdom from these stories.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Because I was thinking of putting because our most of our elders are dying out. They're the ones that have
Yeah,
all these stories, and we haven't written them down or saved them, and it's getting to a point where there's only a few elders left, and we're
they
scrambling to.
need Eric. They need people to come in and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I want to take up the torch of being the next storyteller."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay,
Something like yeah. Yeah, okay. That was great. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, that's about it. And I guess I'll just wait for next month to call in again during Lionsgate.
okay. All right,
Yeah,
brother. Take it easy.
yeah. Thank you, Andrew. Bye.
Good talking to you.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okie dokie. Let's bring on Atinye. Apologize for not pronouncing that right. You there?
Etienne, you there?
Etienne, how you doing?
Etienne, how you doing today?
Doing well, thank you very much. I'm
Where are you
glad to
calling
be
from?
talking with you. I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Welcome. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, I wasn't going to call, but the two people that called that had been listening a long time, it just felt like, yeah, me too. And also, I'm
Ooh, looks like we lost.
All right. No, don't see her there.
Let's give her a
Give
second.
it a minute.
See if she comes back. There you are.
Yeah, it's done that a couple of times just while I was listening to you. I was afraid it was going to do it if I got called on.
It's okay. So, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I've got a big trip I'm preparing. I've been looking for a camper for this trip for a while. Found it last weekend. Got my hitch put on today. Going to pick it up on Saturday, and I'm hoping that you might, I don't know, maybe provide some insight on what you see about this particular trip.
Where are you going to?
Four Corners of Ohio.
What are you going to be doing there?
Well, I guess grassroots marketing. I'm a musician, and I write songs for people, like singular, like individual songs for people, um, mostly just in the effort to give them something personal for their meditation. So they spend about 45 minutes, focusing on what is most valuable to them, and I write a song during that time, and then they have that. Um, but
What would you say your genre of songwriting is in, or genres?
Well, I play. I mean, I used to do all kinds of music, like singing out and performing and whatever, like jazz and blues, but piano, guitar, singer songwriter, all that. But really, for the production of what I'm referring to, it's just piano. I just stick with straight piano.
Okay. And is this like a festival or is it a meeting of minds? What is it?
I'm sorry. What I'm
Where you're going to? Is it a festival? Is it a meeting of minds? Is it a party? What is the reason for going?
To be honest, the reason I was thinking of doing this journey was to start small. I've got a lot of big goals, probably considered grandiose, um, but I have a lot going on that I feel like on this, like when I look around, I feel like a lot of.
Ah, that's the same thing when my phone just cuts me off for no reason.
I wonder if it's a common
It's
thread.
soft. It's got to be software. It's like, how my phone just cuts me off, and it used to never do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give her a minute to come back.
There we go.
You're back.
I don't know what that's about.
It's a software issue. Don't worry about it. It's not
Okay.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's basically just I just have a lot of ideas, and I don't
Yeah.
I'm not confident
That
with
doesn't answer the.
it.
That doesn't. That
No, no,
does. That
I'm trying
doesn't
to. I
answer.
promise I'm trying to answer your question. I promise. I'm saying I
Okay.
have a lot of big ideas that I'm not ready to introduce in any way. So I'm trying to start small by doing what I know I can do, which is the music. Does that answer your question?
No. What is the event?
There is no event. The event is the tour that I'm going on, like an actual grassroots marketing tour where I go to each place, I set up camp, and then I just like go to a whole bunch of different like I don't know, metaphysical stores or whatever might be the right place, and offer my service to the owner so that they can, if they like what I'm doing, then they can
So,
put my cards out,
so
that kind of thing.
let me translate what you're basically saying is
Sure.
you've put together some money, you got yourself an RV, and you're going to go to some place you've never been before, and you're going to find a place to camp at, and you're going to go to bookstores and break out a guitar or a piano
Oh, no,
and
no,
try
no,
to
no, no,
offer.
no. Offer the service to the owner of the store. No, I would
All right,
never
that's
do it
not.
on the spot.
This is the wrong way to be doing this.
Oh,
If you
okay.
were going to festivals and had a booth, I would say it's an incredibly powerful marketing tool for you and will pay off a lot more for you because the volume of people who will be interested in private musical mentorship for you will pay off versus a person who's at a store who still has to get through the journey of what is your service going to do for me. We'll wait for her to come back.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm basically saying is if you were at a festival, you would have a lot more people that would buy this. No matter what, you're going to run into many of these medical bookstores are absolutely broke and don't take chances on anyone because it just ends up costing them money.
What kind of
You're
chance
going
would
to
they be
have
taking if I was offering it to them for free?
but then how are you going to make money on your tour?
The tour is literally just a matter of saying, here, if you like what I'm doing, then all I'm asking is for you to put my cards at your counter.
Okay, you're going to go nowhere with that.
Like I said, it's not even my goal to really do this for a living. I'm just trying to do something small to say I can achieve something and get myself engaging with people.
And
You know,
what I'm saying to you is, you should just go to festivals and get a booth and do it there.
okay, I hear that. I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And because you're just, this tour can be anything you want, find a folk music festival, find a country music festival, small level ones, and the ones where the hippie bands go to, and you will meet more people, influence more people, and get more customers and clients from your individual sales than trying to deal with a broke ass person who's at these metaphysical stores.
You're making
And
fine
anybody
sense. I
that's out there,
hear
I'm
you.
sorry if you, and anybody that's out there that
Yeah,
owns a medical
exactly.
physical store,
Yeah, yeah.
be here to tell you, broke ass. It's a really tough industry to make any
It's a
kind of
tough
real
market.
money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay. You're hitting
yeah.
the toughest of people that you got to make the sales on. And if you're offering your shit for free, what confidence are they going to have in it compared to the 19 other people? I want to do free card readings. Can I do it at your store?
Yeah, yeah. That's not the goal. Yeah. Well, I hear that. I mean, thank you, first of all. And also thank you for the many years, by the way. But, you know, I think part and parcel of my question is really just your sense of how I'm approaching it to start smaller and work bigger. You know what I mean?
I don't think you should be starting smaller. I think that's just the way that you see yourself and the way that you've been traumatized and beat yourself up to leave the industry.
Well, I'm not really trying to do music for my life, to be honest. I really just have so much information that I want to put out that
Yeah.
I was just trying to engage with people again before.
The irony. She'll be back.
For software, it started being a hard ass, huh?
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna use some hard words for you here.
Please.
You've given up on yourself, and your internal voice is not your external voice. Your internal to external motivation shows that you've given up on yourself. And for you to be saying that I just want to teach people, you should be teaching through your music and your own
Breathing.
created songs, and be putting out your own songs with your own band. But you don't believe in yourself anymore. Let's see if she comes back here. Alrighty. She back, Joel?
Don't see her.
Give it another minute. Right, I'll give her the answer. I'll give her the answer. What I'm saying is, you've given up on yourself, and part of you that is creating this new idea of you is doing it the wrong way. And whoever traumatized you has beaten you. You should be in the music industry. You should be teaching all the information you know through your lyrics and your songs and through your power of performance. You need to rediscover the performer in you. You need to figure out who and what traumatized you. You need to write songs about them to help you go through the process of grief and understanding of the grander you. For you to not be on stage and to not be with a band and to not be with that stuff is an affront to the greater soul in you. That's my answer. You need to take life by the horns, take it back, this perception of a trailer and going hand to mouth between people, that's a broken person talking, not the powerful woman that you really are. All right, Joel, let's move on to the next caller.
All right, Cameron, you're on the air.
Cameron, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing? I'm
Good.
good.
Where are you calling from?
San Diego.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about?
Well, a few days we spoke last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember. Go
And then,
parachuting?
yeah. So last week, I went to Mount Shasta.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Yeah. I just kind of signed up for like a light hiking retreat. Go to a few of the sacred spots. And I went with the highest intentions and stuff. Once I was there for about day 2, I got smacked with mountain altitude sickness. So it totally limited my my ability to hike anywhere, and I couldn't go above a certain altitude. But I did try to make the best of it, and go to the lower altitude places and sit in meditation and stuff. But overall, it was kind of a bummer. I'm wondering, like, do you know what might have been going on behind the scenes there that I'm not aware of?
So, first thing first, Mount Shasta has dark forces and light forces constantly battling over it. In the recent years, the rainbow pride groups, not the LBGTQ, the druggy groups that go festival to festival to festival, have infested many of the places of power throughout all over. And they have brought large volumes of just garbage, dark people there. That shit ends up getting trapped on the mountain. And you're a fighter, aren't you?
I can be.
You got brought into the wars up there, and that's what your altitude sickness was. The physical you got the wind taken out of them, but the spiritual you was in wars. Next time, don't choose places like that. That's why I said go parachuting.
Yeah.
Okay? The amount of money you spent on that trip versus 5 or 6 jumps, your first sets of jumps, even though it would have been tandem, over a weekend, would have been far more spiritually rewarding for you than a trip to haunted ass Mount Shasta without any spiritual preparation to get to the warfare zone that is that place.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, Mount Shasta has great places too. You just happen to go at the time of the year where the battle for the places of power and the light and the dark are constantly fighting over all the little campgrounds, all the little sacred places, because that mountain's infested. That town goes from 10,000 people to 200,000 people during that time of year.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You went there at the height of the competition for power.
Typical.
It's okay. It's a learning lesson, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't say I'm completely sad I went. I'm glad for the experience, but it was a little bummer.
You had as a grander idea. You thought you were going to have a little bit more, having a little bit more. Well, you didn't get that.
Yeah.
It just means you have better planning next time. That's all it is.
Yeah. Where would you recommend? Where like West Coast or West Coast on the West Coast?
Sequoia National Forest, do you know where that is?
I do.
There's a great place to go. Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier in Washington. But you also got to remember the time of year that you're going. All the
Right.
big national parks, this is the height of national park travel right now. Okay?
Yeah.
So you got to find a place that isn't, it's off the beaten path. Okay?
Yeah.
Do
Cool.
you know anything about boating?
No.
You can go rent a boat and go do on one of the lakes. Okay? Rent a canoe or a small little boat. Okay? And do your energy work on the water.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe invest in your own little system. Buy a boat. You could use it year round where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Cool.
Okay? What would you name your boat?
Um, Ganote Seitan.
There you go. Anything else you want to ask me?
Um, so not without getting into my big soap opera of a story, I have a very reoccurring issue with my dream body being hijacked. Like
Yeah.
literally out of my control, so I am shoved around.
Yes, that's
And
because
I
of the
can't.
porn addiction and the sexuality and masturbation issue that you had ongoing for decades. You have a portal at the tip of your penis that you get pulled through, and in your hand, and in around the visionary process that you had through self pleasure for over the last 15 years. A lot of men don't realize that.
But it's been going on way before that, though.
So
Like
before you ever learned masturbation when you were a little tiny baby?
no, probably in my early teens.
Yeah, it's still same thing.
So
Work on closing the portal in the hand and around the masturbatory process. Closing the portals. Unfortunately, those doors get left open out of habit pattern. And that's how many men get taken by the incubus and the succubus grids, or any of the other positive or negative grids are going to pull you out and put you into something that you're not ready for.
hmm, interesting. So even though I I don't have a lot of sexual dreams.
No,
Uh,
but your fantasy world does.
yeah. Um,
You don't think that has a potent energy in the astral world that things are reading about you? And that energy, it permeates your outer aura, and can those energies can be tagged and traveled and followed and predicted?
yeah.
Huh?
Okay. So it's that important.
Yes, I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't. And there are a lot of other people out there, both men and women, who have the exact same issue. Okay.
And what if I curtail my practice, my
No, you need to
habit?
change its form so it's not. I talked about this in the other show before. In masturbation, there's an internal narrator who creates the storyline, and then we put ourselves in the characters in the story, and in our mind we act things out, and we put ourselves in both the man and the woman's process, and it's the narrator that's activating the dopamine releases that can create the chemical response to having the turn on and having the hard on, or in a woman's case, the libido being activated through the clitoris or whatever other mechanical action that they're doing. long story short, for both men and women, there is an internal narrator that needs to have a sacred energy a part of them. Okay?
Mm.
And you need to learn to connect with that narrator, because it's truly the narrator that is the you going through the self-pleasuring process. And it's the narrator who leaves the portals open, because after you've had a release, you want to clean yourself up too fast, or this or that, and you leave that narrator space, and you don't actually have the actual enjoyment if it was a physical release with another person. And knowing that narrator's position is what actually turns you on. It's the narrator that knows the images and the thises and the that's and the stories that get that masturbation process to go 25, 30, 40 minutes without a release. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
That narrator needs to be identified. It's me in the narrator's position telling the story to turn me on. And I have to have a more sacred perception of that narrator and the stories that are created with it. And then afterwards, the narrator inside you has to have the standing ovation. Thank you for helping me get off. Okay? Okay? And then you'll learn to close the portals. Okay?
Okay. I get it. Crazy.
Okay? What does that narrate? Think about it. What does your narrator tell you? I don't need to go into details. What does your narrator do to get you into the position to get yourself hard and for it to extend and not to be a rush journey?
I think I'm always in the rush journey, and
there you go.
I'm not. I don't even like, the whole point is to get it done.
Okay? That's not honoring the narrator. And that's what leaves the portal open. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that answers it. Thanks.
You need a story that the narrator narrates and characters to amuse yourself with. Okay?
Yeah.
And then the standing ovation and the audience clapping for the narrator. Best metaphor I can give everyone that's out there. Okay?
Man. Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
You and a lot of other people weren't expecting that either.
Anyway. No, I hear what you're saying. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. All right, take it easy.
Cool.
Have a good
Yeah.
one. We'll talk soon, man.
Yeah.
All right, Joel, we got time for one more caller.
Okie dokie. Dasan, you're on the air.
Because it's female, it's like the circle of the woman. So
Dasan, are you there?
It's full of caveat.
You got to turn off your audio.
Today, before the full moon, today is after the full moon.
Let's move on to the next caller.
All right. Tej, you're on the air.
Tej, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, where are you calling from?
Victoria, British Columbia.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Thanks so much. I think it's something along the lines of, Andrew, I sort of got introduced to you, I don't know how many years ago, but a number, like 8, 9, 10 years ago, and I took in your multi-part series. I think you were up at Shasta, Galactic History, and one of the things that really stuck with me from then was the whole sort of galactic wars and the gods that were replaced because the administrators because they were not behaving properly and all this kind of stuff. And I struggle at times quite a bit with I guess these forces and how I feel like they manipulate everything, and then I get to the place sometimes where I don't even want to be part of this world or other worlds or of being, because it seems like it's like everywhere it's light or dark, battles, and agendas and all that. And there's a part of me that just kind of wants to walk away from everything into like if I could, a non-existent state where I just didn't exist, no part of my being, my essence, my soul, or whatever. And if
So that means you've fallen victim to nihilism and what the system is trying to create by disconnecting you from source. And that's what all the false gods and the wars are about, is to disconnect you from source and to accept nihilism, nothingness.
Okay.
Well, guess what? Yeah. At any time, you can walk away from all of this stuff and still live in this world. You've just been trained that you can't do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. How do you untrain yourself to believe that the universe is far more than what the warring false gods telling you it is?
Well, I don't know. There's different sources. I've taken in a lot of information over the years, and there's others that have different spins on things.
You have information. You have information overload.
Yes,
where you're not going through your own internal validation, and you've outsourced source.
Right.
Okay? Stop outsourcing source. Source is inside you, and the journey to source is a self journey. It doesn't have all these other pontificating philosophers of this and that, which includes me too. It's your own internal journey of reconnecting to source and faith and your individual purpose for living and breathing in this world. That has a far grander story than you're ready to accept, because you've accepted nothingness, which is what was enforced into you by the false gods over many thousands of lifetimes. There is no way out of the trap they created, when in fact there's an infinite amount of ways out of the trap. Stop believing you're trapped. That's the first rule.
Is there an existence where all this doesn't exist, or is it existing amongst it, but it's not impacting?
You're working in extremes, and as long as you're working in extremes, you'll never see the in-betweens. And part of you is cherry picking for an answer. And when you don't get your cherry picking answer, you'll go back to nihilism. And that's spiritual pouting.
Okay.
Because you have a grand expectation on what you're owed. And I didn't say entitled, owed. The debt you had to take on to live in this world.
So I guess I'm not really conscious of that, because I believe I chose to come down here to a certain degree, at least.
Sure. And if you choose to come down here, there's a way out of it by living in it. But you chose nihilism. You chose nothingness.
Well, I fluctuate. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you don't fluctuate. You don't fluctuate. You waver.
Okay. Waver. Sure.
In belief.
Yeah.
So your issue is faith-based issue.
Yes.
You have a core broken faith.
Right.
What broke it?
I don't know. Maybe some childhood stuff.
Come on, try. See, you're a giver-upper. You've not always been that way. Only in the last year and a half, 2 years, did you solidify in being a giver-upper. Because there is a debt owed to you, and in the background, that debt is unsurmountable, and you're choosing nothingness because the debt is unsurmountable, when the debt is minuscule compared to the healing one can go through with just reconnecting through faith, and that debt can be minimalized into nothingness. And a non-existence, and a whole new form of freedom can be existing in you. That's why indebted servitude is such an insidious process for humans to get out of. That's why my contract revocations are so vitally important for certain forms of people who are stuck in indebtedness. You have a powerful psychic skill. You really do. You're not using it for good, okay? But you're also not using it for evil. You're just not using it to benefit you in a way that doesn't deal with what you're owed and what you believe you're entitled to. And this isn't ego. This is not ego. Don't get me wrong. This isn't ego. This is a higher level spiritual thing for you to get over this lifetime. And it's why you, this individual soul, was born, because the soul has grown this perception of indebted servitude. And it needs you to be using faith to break it and show it the infinite potentials again.
Where does my sense of owing come from, or owed? Like, I'm trying to understand that.
Hundreds of thousands of lifetimes of you rescuing people for them to just go back into the system and give up again. To not maintaining lifetime to lifetime sovereignty.
Okay. Okay.
Process that.
Yeah.
You've rescued people over and over and over again for them to go back to the druggy life, metaphorically. Okay.
And so,
and now you're like, what's the point? What's the point of rescuing anybody?
Right.
And your soul's point is you have to rescue yourself first. The reason they go back to it is because there are too many rescuers out there.
And can you help me to sort of get some illumination on what broke my faith?
I will get there. I mean, we do some other inquiries. What kind of job do you do?
I do consulting work right now. I kind of use it under the umbrella of community development. So I'll do disaster recovery work, housing development, healthcare work.
So you'll consult corporations or organizations.
Yeah, organizations. Yeah.
And how beneficial is that to you with monetary relief?
It's reasonable when it's consistent, and when it's not, it's enough to get by, but it's not like yeah.
How long have you been doing this for?
About 6 years.
And what got you into it?
Well, I'd taken a 7-year timeout, not a plan, but it was. And then I just a little bit of networking, and I couldn't carry on with what I was doing because I was out of savings and stuff. And I just my old life was in business development, economic development, tourism development, this kind of stuff. And so just, I guess my network led to people calling me, and then one call led to a next. And it's sort of like work has been finding me. I haven't had to look too hard to generate it.
All right. And why did you take your 7 years off?
I don't know. It was a plan just to take a summer off, and I just, I don't know. I've never really been super clear with myself on that.
Okay, so there's where your faith broke.
Uh-huh.
It was broken before, but that finished the breaking of it. What did you do in that 7 years?
Well, I would have done some personal growth, development, pursuit of things, and such as, like, say, working with a Peruvian shaman and doing retreats and stuff like that. And
okay.
I came across you during that period of time. I did, I took what I got of yours, did some revocations and things like that. I just lived, but it was nothing spectacular, nothing of note, I would say.
Okay. But you blew through your savings.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the other aspect of your faith. You didn't really get what your business mind thought it was going to get. And the bigger part of your breakage in faith is The part of you that left behind to take your 7 years off isn't integrated into you. The highly motivated original person that was in business development isn't a part of your consciousness today. And you need to reintegrate that person back in to get the higher form of motivation so that the existing job you have starts to turn on the tap of wealth.
Okay.
Okay. It happens a lot when people are in high level business or in the corporate world and they leave, and they leave a huge part of themselves there, and they don't integrate that into the whole new concept of them. You need that motivated hustle based individual who got that original wealth for you through hard work and spit and blood, and you just left them behind.
Yeah, I know there was either a perception or a bias that I developed on the, I guess, business development, economic development, whatever, that I just felt kind of empty and hollow to some degree.
Because it was empty. Because it was empty and hollow.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're in a situation now, it doesn't need to be empty and hollow. You had your 7 years of the no plan and did a whole bunch of stuff and learned a whole bunch of different techniques, but you're still exactly where you are when you left that 7 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you are able to go into a journey space and find the person who was the moneymaker, the hustler, and reintegrate them back into your life with the positive frequencies, and understand our part of you that are resisting bringing that person back in, you will make money hand over foot in the organization that you're in right now. But you can't see the way out of the weeds or through the trees, through the forest right now without that high perception business person as part of your high frequency growth. It's a vital reintegration aspect, and it will help validate the 7 years you did take off because you developed many other parts of yourself, and now you got to make yourself whole again. And that's the breakage in faith in you. You need that part back to be the complete you. Part of you sees that self as a toxic you. No, it wasn't toxic. The environment was toxic. That part of you is a shining shard of light that needs to be reintegrated into the grand puzzle of you, which will then complete a light cycle in you. And you'll begin to see the bigger picture again. And once you can see the bigger picture, the little aspects of life become very easy to manipulate to your advantage and for the sovereign wealth to come back to you. Key, sovereign wealth. What's the challenge in your mind right now?
No, I don't know. Still wondering about the broken faith, the psychic skill you mentioned that I
I
have.
already told you where the broken faith is, and your psychic skills developed around the broken faith. And once you integrate the part of yourself that caused the schism in the faith in the first place, the rest will become together like tying a shoelace.
Sorry, yes, you did, yeah.
Okay?
And this psychic skill you mentioned, what is that?
That's a high level of intuition and an understanding of energetic environments. And like a dog sniffing down a trail, you will be able to find wealth through contracts, through negotiations, through the job that you have now. But your higher business self will be far more in the perception planning phase of the psychic skills of sniffing out high level contracts that will pay back instead of the hand to mouth, check to check you've been going through.
Do you get that sort of my highest expression in the remaining work years I have is something to do with consulting, corporate work, what I'm doing, or could it be something completely different?
Completely different.
Like when I think from a soul perspective, like what did I come here to do? What was
You
so
came here
important
to
that
break the cycle of broken faith and accepting what the system tells you is real. And that you have the unlimited perception. And if you integrate the unlimited perception with the higher functioning soul you, who was the businessman that was left behind, and you start integrating the grander sight of that business person, you'll see business opportunities everywhere far beyond what you're doing now. And it'll be grit and determination that manifests them into dollars in your bank account and success with a greater vision of making more success because you've integrated the visionary you who understands the fundamentals of energetic contracts and physical business.
I guess, I mean, that sounds good, but at the same time, I don't feel like there's
Yeah, because you're still coming at it from broken faith of the mind. Your heart isn't a part of this.
no,
This
it
is all
doesn't.
mind energy.
Yeah, sure.
There's
I
zero heart in it.
yeah, okay. But I don't feel like an attraction to the success in business thing. It just feels like
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
business does not have to be what you have predetermined it is, which is putting you into this zero nihilism. Okay.
Yeah.
Business is just an energy that will discover new ways for you to evolve and grow and to have wealth in your pocket. It could be opening a variety of things. It could be starting your own band. But until you integrate the bigger visionary side into yourself, you will not see the grass beyond the weeds.
Mhm.
Okay. You're stuck in the fog of the limitations of the mind.
Right.
Okay. And until you get out of the fog, you won't see the long distance, the actual grander goal of spiritual growth and human growth. You are not limited to corporate world. Right now, those are the only options in front of you that actually make any sense to get yourself out of the spiraling descent you've put you're in, and to make it an ascent and not a descent, an upward growth, and a breaking of the cycle of forced evolution into natural co-creative evolution that by part reveals some of your grander vision that you have to put effort into, and then commitment and courage to make those things manifested real.
So
You'd have to adhere. I have the potential for the unlimited perceptions and point of view, not the limitations of anymore.
Mhm.
And that's the core of your broken faith. You've been pigeonholed into only that. But in fact, you don't even need to be a pigeon.
Right.
Right now, you're just stuck at being a pigeon in a hole. Transmute and transform yourself into something different.
So, hopefully, as I'm getting that underway, or a couple of things myself and my partner have been considering the last few years and exploring a little bit is like maybe creating some kind of a retreat center for personal growth and development, some creative projects to do with
Great.
television.
Great. The
So,
answer is great. But you
yeah,
still need the business person's long term vision to make that work right. And you need that person's organizational skills to make sure you don't miss the details and the marketing and the this and the that and the vital details that will make it far better than anyone else's retreat garbage that's out there. Does that make sense?
it does. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
As I said, you're not limited to that. You've just limited yourself. And as you reincorporate the grander business visionary you, anything you apply it to, you'll become successful at. Even if you wanted to be a local kimchi maker, okay? Or you wanted to make a beer and call it, Bob's Beer, okay? It doesn't matter what it is. You just need the grander visionary person behind it and integrate it into you. You could have 50 things going on at once and all of them be successful. Okay. You burnt through your wealth. So finding a retreat center is going to be challenging, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been working
Okay.
on rebuilding that, but yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe you just need to realize I need to go back into the business energy for a handful of months, really force myself to get some hardened contracts and really enforce myself to commit to that. So there's money to buy one.
Right.
Then I leave that job behind and I put my effort into the retreat center.
Yeah.
You're not selling out. You're buying into your new ideas. And that might be a mantra you have to realize. I'm not selling out. I'm buying into my new ideas. Does that help?
It does. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. What does your partner do?
She works in television. She's a location manager.
So for like advertisements and television shows?
Yeah, she's done a lot, film, television stuff, but primarily she's focused now on facilitating commercials. Yeah, but
Okay.
she's done it for years. She's tired of it. She's looking to create something much more creative of her own making,
Okay.
which could be TV. It could be some online sharing business to do with her own art and stuff like that.
Okay. It'll be a very good idea for her to apply to as many grants and loans as she can.
Okay.
And maybe the two of you have a sit down and go, maybe the next 2 to 3 months, both of you need to jump into the grant world and start writing your own grants. And you don't apply to one grant, you apply to 200 or 300.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
You could find a grant writer too, but it'd probably be better off as a team that you get into it and you share your extending knowledge and wisdom. Every major college in every major city has a grant college, a grant library where all the grants are in one library type format you can go through. A lot of people don't know that. And you got to go to those grant libraries and start researching. Okay.
Right.
And I literally applied to 2 or 300. Okay.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised what the universe will bring back to you. And that grant writing energy, writing those grants, will be a great way to integrate the business part of you, who knows how to write convincing pitches. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Side note, there's something in there about you and cooking and food.
Okay.
Does that connect to you?
Not so much.
It might be something for you to explore as a personal growth energy.
Right.
Not that you need diet or anything, that cooking and the energy and what it repays you physically, mentally, and spiritually might help break some of this cycle this depressionary cycle that you're in. Because
Right.
you're just consuming your own creativity, and that's a great way to break cycles of lack of creativity and broken faith. Maybe
Okay.
go get a smoker and learn how to smoke briskets. Okay, you can go online and learn about that real quick.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
an outdoor barbecue person, and maybe even think about, all right, I'll enter a barbecue contest just to say I did it.
Uh-huh.
Last thing I'm going to ask you. Are you happy?
Not so much.
What's creating the unhappiness? The day-to-day doldrums?
Yeah, I've just been feeling for a while, that goes into probably years, just a lack of joy and a lack of really being, I think, along the lines of self-realized and really like feel like sometimes I'm just a passenger in my life and
Yep.
Yeah, and I feel like if I'm just going to be a passenger, I could be upstairs being the passenger observing versus being down here sort of thing. So
All right, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice.
okay.
It's time for another medicine journey.
Any recommendations on what kind?
I would start with a very small dose of mushrooms.
Yeah.
If you know anyone that can get them for you,
Yes.
start with a half a gram and
Okay.
wait about 90 minutes so you start to feel what the peak is like. And if you want, you can take another half gram after 90 minutes, and that should last 8 to 9 hours. But you have to plan ahead of time.
Right.
There has to be creative energies, from drawing to writing to singing to dancing to board games to stand-up comedy. Your journey has to have pre-plan behind it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you really need to put some effort, because the doldrum you will take over the journey, and you'll just go into your mind and you'll just have a mental masturbation high, which won't give you anything. It'll be no more than you putting your hand on your crown chakra and masturbating it like a cock. Okay?
Okay.
Crown chakra masturbation is what will end up happening if you don't truly plan it out. Now, the next thing is, if you end up being successful with that mushroom journey, I would suggest that you find peyote and do it on your own. It's for you. It's not about being with groups again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
If you can't find peyote or wachuma, um, you can go back to mushrooms, but you're still not going to be going a higher dose. Don't ever do hero doses. Okay. You know what a hero dose is?
No, I don't. But
That's like
no.
6, 7 grams of mushrooms at a time.
Okay.
It will not benefit you in any way. But what you might be able to do is, if you've been able to have a peyote or an MDMA journey, mushrooms, and then a separate one, an MDMA journey, you might want to consider microdosing mushrooms,
Yeah.
where you're basically taking 1/10 of a gram in a small little pill every day for 20 days straight. And what'll happen is, each day, if you're taking it at exactly the same time during your hour of power, where you're at the most energy, you will have the greatest revelations about your inner journey than you can get. But you really have to learn the journey of microdosing long before you're ready to do it.
Right.
And there will be your inner reconnectivity to the many medicines and journeys you've done before, and some of the things you've forgotten in those medicine journeys that are powerful motivational forces right now.
I think it was last year. I arranged for myself and with my partner like 2 mushroom journeys. I think I took a reasonable quantity, and on both occasions, nothing happened. Then I used the rest for microdosing over a period of
Okay.
days. Didn't experience much, and even with the San Pedro, I think I did 3 journeys with the shaman, and
Yep.
last
You got
time,
nothing.
yeah, and these were weekend retreats, and he offered me more, which I had consumed before, and I said, no, I'm not chasing a high. I don't want to just get high. I want to have some kind of an
Right.
experience, and then I just stepped out, and I didn't participate in the rest
Right.
because.
So what happened is, you became a spectator of your journey.
Uh-huh.
And the medicine's not there for you to be a spectator. You got to be creative with it. Which is why I said you need to plan ahead of time.
Right.
And you need to activate your sacred skills to make sure the environment is ready for you to let down and open up.
Uh-huh.
The mushroom journey I'm describing is more about fun and innocent and inner child, and you learning to play with the medicine without the seriousness of a group going through grand healings anymore.
Right.
That's numbed you to the medicine. So it's an individual journey in which you make sacred, and the whole point of making it sacred is so the truly innocent, playful you can play with the medicine. Have an hour-long giggling power that makes your side hurt for 2 days. Okay? Have some of the grander revelations, because you're doing stick figure drawings of people fighting each other. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe pull out a block of clay and make a giant cock and balls and laugh at it. Okay?
Okay.
It's my advice for you. You will have far more better results than going to community medicine journeys anymore.
Okay.
You got to be the director, and the medicine's got to be the producer. That's your relationship with the medicine, director, producer.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay? And a
Yeah.
little side note, because you've done enough medicine, doing a diagram, it's a very good thing to follow. If you do feel like you want to go a little deeper, don't do more than 1.5 grams.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's your peak mass amounts. So maybe like the first time you do it, you do the 0.5 gram and take the other 0.5 gram, and you're like, you really got some goodness out of it. And the next time you want to do the journey, take 1 gram, and then an hour later take a 0.5 gram, but never take more than 1.5 grams in the situation that you're in. Okay? Because you
Right.
have to still maintain the internal director part so the producer of the mushrooms can give you visionary states of letdown. Where the seriousness of your life for 12 hours doesn't mean jack and shit. Okay?
Yeah.
And then that innocent play can come out and innocent visions can be birthed inside your brain and grow to new heights. Do you have any artistic skills?
Nothing that I currently exercise. Years ago, I used to enjoy photography, and I play a little guitar from time to time, but nothing that I have on the go right now.
All right. You're going to have to figure out what's going to be artistically playful energies for your trips, your
Okay.
journeys. Okay.
Yeah.
And put a lot of effort into it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Much
You're
appreciated,
welcome,
man.
man. And you go back and listen to this, and there's all little sorts of nuggets you'll hear me say to you that are there going to come to you in layers and layers and layers. Okay?
Yeah. I'll definitely do that.
All right, man. Have a great day. Good talking to you.
All the best. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Joel, let's call it an end to the show. I remind everybody if you want to come to our live event, that will be in October. You can click the QR code in the top left corner. You can go to my website, andrewbartzis.com/journey, and you'll see all the information there. We also are starting our mentorship class coming the second week in August. You can go to my website, andrewbartzis.com/journey, to find out all about that. We will be back tomorrow for our live World of Warcraft pre-patch event for the War Within. Look forward to seeing you all there to let down and have some fun with us. All right, Joel, take us away.